Hi, everyone. How are we? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Not sure where you're coming in from. I know we have people from Australia and everywhere else. Little impromptu late night live that I thought we would do here. And I am like 2 minutes early, so I'm going to give everybody just a few minutes to come in. I saw this press conference last week and I was like, oh God, I got to do a story on this. And we're just really quickly, I'm going to share with you guys some of the news media feeds that are involved, and then we'll get into the press conference as well. This isn't going to be a very long video or a very long live stream. It is kind of late, I guess. It's 8 o'clock my time. And we're going to hear from some neighbors. We're going to hear about this case that is just absolutely horrific. I will warn you guys now that this is a graphic video. Maybe I should put that up really quick. Disturbing, can be very disturbing information that's being spoken about. You're not going to see any graphic images, but I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. All right, so let's get started.
She was a very nice lady, a nice neighbor, and to find out something happened to her like that, it was devastating.
Shock and sadness in a West Haven neighborhood. Police say they discovered bags of body parts inside a house.
A 70-year-old woman is dead, and the victim's son is in custody tonight. He is not charged with murder right now.
She would go up and down the street with her walker, and if she came home with a lot of groceries, I'd ask her, Tina, do you want me to help you with the groceries? She'd say, no, this is how I get my exercise. So, very, very nice lady. Very tragic.
Right now, the victim's son only charged with that attempted arson. We're told investigators still waiting for some more forensic evidence to come back from the medical examiner's office. But the chief says Theodore Lloyd acted alone, and he says more charges are coming.
Such a pleasant woman. I mean, it's awful. It just is awful.
But Denny Steve says after last seeing his neighbor in January, he knew something was wrong when police showed up on Nashawena Avenue one night last month.
We kind of figured what it was then.
But no one could imagine the horror inside this home.
I've been here 22 years and I have never seen anything like this.
That's where investigators found more than a dozen trash bags in an upstairs bedroom filled with body parts. So badly decomposed, they needed DNA to identify the remains as 70-year-old Tina Lloyd, believed to have been dead for 2 months.
It just seemed just like a horror story, it started in our neighborhood.
And this week, West Haven police arrested Lloyd's 27-year-old son, Theodore, charging him with attempted arson and trying to conceal a criminal act. Police believe Theodore Lloyd moved out around 7 years ago after getting arrested following what was described as a minor fight with his mom. They said he had recently been showing back up. But according to West Haven police, after another son wasn't able to get in contact with her for months, he called police. That's when officers checked, noticing a smell and finding the remains. The discovery shocking police and those who live here.
When police stepped through that front door, they say it hit them. That smell, overpowering, unmistakably, the odor of decomposition. Neighbors say the victim was a sweet person, would use her walker to grab the mail every day, always with a smile and a hello. Ed Safarian owns the house next door. He hadn't heard yet. We gave him the news on what had happened.
Yeah, this is shocking. I'm going to go inside and tell my wife what I just learned. And it's very surprising, but it goes to show, it can happen in any neighborhood.
Right.
We've missed her. We haven't seen her. We didn't know where she was. People are very inquisitive, want to know kind of what was going on, but the people are upset.
What do you feel like the takeaway needs to be from this?
I would love to see him go in there forever, but, a good 20 years, 25 years, if they can convict him.
I know, I know, I know, I know. God almighty, I swear. I'm just a talking. Okay. uh, Trying to give you guys an idea of where this is. This area reminds me, and seeing those houses and everything, it reminds me of the movie Mystic Pizza. Do you guys remember that movie? It was like one of Julia Roberts' first movies ever. I love that movie. See, there's Yale University right there in New Haven, and you this is West Haven. And what I was saying when I was muted is her house had to have been like right around here or right around the water because she was just like a few houses down from the water. When you're at her mailbox, you could see it. That just kind of gives you an idea of where this incident occurred. And now let's go over to the press conference.
Coming at such short notice. This is regarding an incident that took place on the 24th of March. The West Haven Police Department, through the ERS Dispatch Center, received a call on March 24th at 6:30 p.m. requesting a welfare check at 28 Nashawina Avenue. The responding officers gained entry into the house and found evidence of a body decomposing. The house was secured, investigators were dispatched, and a search warrant was applied for and granted to conduct a search of the house. The search resulted in the discovery of a body which was dismembered and placed in plastic trash bags. There was also evidence that there was an attempted arson at the house. Through an extensive emphasis on extensive investigation, which consisted of thousands of potential pieces of evidence, the suspect of the arson attempt was identified. He is
Piece of shit.
He is Theodore Lloyd, 12/27/97, and he is charged by warrant for attempted arson. He was taken into custody in Hartford on the 14th of this month and turned over to the West Haven Police Department. The victim's body was in such a state of decomposition that positive identification took some time. Through DNA examination and comparison, the identity of the victim was found to be Tina Lloyd, 3/20/1955. This investigation is ongoing as more forensic evidence still has to be analyzed. There will be more charges filed relating to this incident. Through the investigation, it has been determined that Theodore Lloyd acted alone. I would like to commend and thank the members of the department standing behind me for their dedication and tenacity in their investigation. I would also like to thank those who assisted in this investigation, Walmart, Home Depot, GA22, and Hartford Police Department, Mayor Borer for her support, as well as the support of the West Haven Board of Police Commissioners. Thank you. We will open it up to questions. My PIO will take over for the questions.
Scott, can you tell us just the relationship between the victim and the woman, Tina? Were they, was it son and mother, or?
Son and mother, yes.
Any problems? Any idea what led up to this?
That is still under investigation. We do know that he's been there a long time prior to this. He went to high school here. It really hasn't been a problem. I think he had one arrest in 2018 for a minor argument with his mother, but.
Was there any kind of a restraining order that she took out?
I don't believe so.
What brought officers to the home?
So the older son called in and wanted to have a welfare check done on his mother because he hasn't heard or seen her. Her landlord hasn't seen or heard from her. So we went there to conduct a welfare check on her.
For how long have they not heard from her?
I'll say a month maybe. 2 weeks to a month maybe.
Can you explain why Home Depot and the other
Sure.
organizations were involved?
So through investigation, obviously he was seen leaving Walmart with particular items, and we were able to gain that footage from those companies along with other receipts and stuff pertaining to the items he had.
It's been reported that there were some plastic gloves, a chainsaw, electric chainsaw, containers, bins. Can you talk about anything that was found specifically?
Yes, that's correct.
Sorry, can you list what was
I cannot. Jeff, can you list the items that were?
Yeah, there were several. There were several cutting utensils. There was an electric chainsaw, and things of that nature.
anything to conceal anything, plastic bags, anything like that?
Yeah, a lot of the items were concealed in plastic bags and either in an attempt to be hidden or destroyed, but that was all retrieved by our ID unit.
In terms of the number of plastic bags found with body parts, how many bags is it? I've heard two different numbers.
The bags containing body parts, approximately 14 to 16, but overall probably 25 to 30 bags.
Can you talk about, just the absolute brutality of that? I mean, how are your officers doing? That must have been horrific to have the investigators walk through that. That's, this is not something you see every day.
Correct. But out of respect to the family, yeah, I'd rather not comment on that.
Is it your intention to seek a warrant to charge somebody with the homicide?
Yes, there will be future charges pending. That depends on a lot of forensic evidence that still has yet to be retrieved. But any charges from here forward would be by warrant, yes.
Where is Mr. Long right now?
He is being detained by a Connecticut correctional facility.
Approximately how long do we know the body parts were there, or how long she's been dead?
Approximately 2 months.
Was there discovery made on the second floor in a bedroom closet or a bedroom, or where were things discovered? Can you talk about that at all?
Most of the items that had any type of evidentiary value were in the second floor.
The warrant says that basically the officers responding smelled something that, smelled like decomposition.
Mm-hmm.
Was that apparent upon entering the house, or was it not until they got up to the second floor?
No, you had to be inside the residence to notice the smell of decomposition.
How are the officers doing? It's a traumatic thing for them to go through. Any counseling or anything?
I really can't speak on that. Every officer deals with that in their own way.
We encourage the officers after something like this too. If you need to talk to somebody, there's obviously means that we can do that and get that for them. So, so we have either some coming here to talk to everybody who showed up as a whole, or if individual officers are seeking that treatment, we get that for them.
And can you explain the arson charge? What evidence was linked to that?
Okay. So throughout the house, there was paper type stuff, lighter fluid found, indicative to this is set up to catch on fire. And that's what led to the attempted arson charge.
And you're expecting homicide charges for the same victim?
We don't know. We're still waiting for a lot of evidentiary value from the enemy, and it's still under investigation right now. But once that's all clear, then we'll find the proper charges to charge Ms. Lloyd.
I know Scott might have said it before, apologize, but their relationship, were you guys ever called there, trouble, any of the previous service calls there, anything at all?
So I think it was back in 2018, I think we went there for some type of incident between him and his mother. Okay. I mean, nothing crazy. It was either a verbal
nothing really recent?
Nothing. Not that I'm aware of, no.
Was the mother the only resident of the home? Did the son live there as well?
He lived there until his arrest, and I think he moved out after that because of the protective order and everything else.
So was he living there with the body in the home?
No. So he started to come back and revisit his mother, and I don't know if they were trying to rekindle a relationship or whatever, but just as of recently, he came back to the house. So he's been living in another town since then.
So that just is a good question. So then the body parts were there. Sorry to be graphic, but I just want to be clear. When the body parts were there in the bags. The son was not living in the house in a bedroom or in a couch or anything like that.
No. I mean, he may have stayed there a day or
Right.
two,
He
but no, it wasn't
wasn't
full
living-
time.
He wasn't a resident.
No.
Do you know, it was I believe an older brother who called police and met you there.
Mhm.
Do you know how many siblings there are? You have the younger brother who's
Right.
charged right now, the older brother who called police.
I
You know
believe
how
it's
many
just
others?
those two, just two, the older brother and the younger brother.
Just the two of them?
Yes.
And do you know why, I mean, I know the landlord had called and hadn't heard from her tenant in a while prior to all this, but do you know why between, November, December, and when this was discovered, I mean, was there any effort that you were aware of to contact her?
I mean, yeah, we've made, I believe we made numerous attempts to contact her, try to find her. She was mostly friends with the landlord and really not many other, and she was the main drive to reach out to her to find out if she's seen her, and she hasn't, and the kids too. So she was kind of like a home person, never really went out much, and so there's really nobody else to reach out to. So other her sons and the landlord were the closest to her.
Was she reported missing?
No, she's not.
Was there anything else in the house that stood out to investigators besides the arson evidence and the bags?
I don't believe so. I think those are the main things too that we collected and everything else. Any further questions?
I guess just lastly,
Sure.
The gruesomeness of this case, is it something anyone ever seen in their career here in West Haven?
As far as me, I've been here 22 years and I have never seen anything like this. I can't speak for everybody up here who has more time than me, but I have never seen anything like this in my 22 years in this police department. If that's it, good. I just want to give a huge shout out to the detective division for their tenacity, like the chief said, and our ID unit for the hours and hours they spent pulling evidence and going through evidence and everything else that they did. They worked tirelessly on this. So again, like the chief said, I just want to give a huge thank you to the Home Depot of Orange, the West Haven Walmart, Hartford Police Department, and of course the mayor and police commissioners for their continued support in this and hopefully the conclusion to this case.
Scott, would
Yes.
you say hundreds of hours or?
I don't know.
About 2,800.
Okay. And we just have
2,800 hours collectively.
Of investigative work that went into it?
Yep. Just the detective sergeant, like I said.
2,800, right?
2,800, yes.
I said my Detective Sergeant Salentano, and I just want to, again, compliment my team. What a great job they did. The Chief's office for giving us what we needed to do this, the command staff, the neighborhood of the people in that neighborhood with our presence there for the period of time. And if I missed anybody, anyone who contributed to this, it was a great success so far, and I want to just shout out to them as they gave us what we needed and helped us along the way with everything we had to do.
So thank you, Patty. If I don't mute myself, y'all will hear me bouncing around out in the background. So I have to. I apologize. So anyway, that's all we have on that case. And as soon as I get an update, I will come on and give you guys the latest on it. I did have one other case that I wanted to just really quick show you a news clip from. And this one's crazy. Of course, that's what we do here, right? We do a lot of crazy. Let me pull it up real quick. This woman is just, I'm like, what?
Guilty to lying to police about her husband shooting her days after abandoning her kids on the side of the road. In January, Heather Perez Miranda reported her husband had shot her at Morgan Creek Park. Police say he was at a different location. They have not said who shot her, but investigators say they're not looking for any other suspects. Miranda also pleaded guilty to child neglect after leaving her 2 children on the side of a Hiawatha road. The children told police she said that nobody loved them. One of the children had a G-tube and could not care for herself. Miranda is set to be sentenced for both incidents in May.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine you hear that from your own mother? That kind of reminded me of Susan Smith a little bit. There's not a whole lot on that case, and I mean, it's not like I guess I assumed she unalived herself, or I mean, I'm sorry, not unalived, shot herself. And maybe we'll get to see the court feed on it. No, she doesn't deserve those kids. Nana said, "What is wrong with people?" I know. Hey, Laura, I'm sorry you're having a bad day today, honey. Hope you feel better. Yep, Ann said it. One day at a time. Just take it slow and easy. So, yeah, this wasn't a really long live. I just wanted to get that out to you guys, and I thought, you know what? I'd rather do it like this than do a premiere. So, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Oh, I've got the first part of the Jodi Arias trial. I've got the opening statements, and I've also got, like I said, the first day's witnesses, part of them at least. It's a couple hours, at least 3 or 4 hours. So, what do you guys think? Should we start this weekend or should we wait for Monday? I was kind of wondering about that. And like if we did start on Monday, did we want to do evenings? Because these are going to be long. So I'd have to start them kind of earlier in the day, like maybe between 3 and 4. And we're not going to do every consecutive day. We're not doing that. No, I don't do Karen Reed, Nana. I have never done that trial. I have no idea what's going on with that trial. I can't take a break. I got to get you guys some content. Do you guys want to start on Saturday? Anne suggested we start on Saturday. If we do Saturday, we need to do a Saturday night. Like maybe 5 o'clock. I don't know. We'll get a little crazy stuff a little bit later than normal. Might not go to bed till 11. Ooh, we're so bad. We're rebels. You guys want to do Saturday night? Okay. All right. We can do Saturday night. Sounds good to me. All righty. So I'll go ahead and get that up on and mark it. I do have one coming out tomorrow night, which is some more audio from Lori's Idaho trial. And I did put it up as a premiere, so you guys can all get together and hee and kiki. And I don't know if I'll be there or not, but at least you'll be able to get together and chat amongst yourselves while it's on. It's like 3 to 4 hours long, tomorrow night's thing. All right. So until then, I've got a bunch of small clips I got to get out for you guys. Got a bunch of different things that I want to update you on, things I've been marking and just haven't had time to do them yet. So crime and wine, Saturday night. Ooh, I like that, Donna. Crime and wine. Who's whining? I'm not whining. All right, honeys. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Be good. Bye.